Yeah, hi friends, welcome to Vikakala channel. Now we are going to discuss about Java 8 for each examples. So what examples? So examples are list, collection of list, how we are going to use this Java 8 for each on list of collection data and set of collection data and map data, and also streams. So Java 8 we have a stream, right? So we can manipulate data using streams from the collection data, right? So in that case also how we are going to use for each we will see. Sorry. And also Java 8 for each we have a for each and for each ordered. So what is the main difference between a for each and for each ordered? So this is also we will see by executing some examples. So what is for each and what is for each ordered? So how the ordered is maintained when we are using a parallel stream, especially for parallel stream. So is it maintaining insertion order, or is it guaranteed to the insertion order when we are using parallel parallel stream? So we will see by doing example. So now little few before starting examples I want to discuss a few information about the Java 8 for each. So let me share the information. Yeah, so Java 8 for each, one common requirement in Java application is to iterate through the elements of collection. Exactly, so only one common requirement on in Java application is to iterate through the elements of collection. Yes, right. So we have a collection of data, so we need to traverse the data before sending the front end. So we need to traverse the data when we want to do some manipulation on the collection of data. So what kind, and we should know how many elements are coming from the collection of collection data. We should traverse or we should iterate the collection of data. So one common requirement. So prior to Java 8, so what are the options are there to iterate a collection? We will see now. So prior to Java 8, before Java 8, there are three most common ways to iterate through the a collection, or by using while loop and for loop and enhanced for loop. So these are the three these are the three options we have previously before Java 8. I can say before Java 8. So using while loop we can traverse the collection data. Using for loop we can traverse the collection data, and enhanced for loop, using enhanced for loop, which means it is introduced in Java 5. So using enhanced for loop also we can traverse the collection data, whether it is a list, whether it is a set, whether it is a map, right? Before Java 8. Now after Java 8, all the Java collections interfaces extended iterable interface. So all the Java collection interface extend the iterable. So iterable is the one type of interface. Using that we can have, see, you can also use the as an next methods of iterable to iterate through the collection elements. See, here we have a whenever we are using iterate from the iterable interface, we can have a has next and next. Has next in the sense the elements, the next in the sense the next elements. Has next sense it will check the elements is having next elements or not. The next element is, if it is have, the next element is the very next element will print by using iterate. So like that we have a methods in the collection. So from starting from Java 8, so starting from Java 8 we can have new for each method in iterable to loop through the elements in a collection. So yeah, this is what I want to say. So in Java 8 we have a, apart from while loop, for loop and enhanced for loop, we have one more method, for each in Java 8. So some improvements are happened in Java 8 in for each. So what are those improvements we will see now. So methoding, yeah, starting from Java 8 we have a new for each method in iterable to loop through elements in a collection. Yeah, we can traverse using this for each also. from the Java 8. So which means Java 8 for each. So how we are going to traverse the collection of data? We will see the examples by doing examples, but in a different way. Yeah, that is what I want to convey. So R. So introduced in a Java 8, the for each loop provides programmers with a new concise and interesting way of way for iterating over the collection. Yeah, simply it is a it will give the more interesting on how we are converting a data, how we are traversing the data by using this Java 8 for each. So we will see now. So and also see using we can say all these all are iterators. So iterable interface, right? These all are iterators for loop and while loop and enhanced for loop and Java 8 for each. Java 8 for each. So all this we can call it as iterators, right? So now one more concept is called internal external and internal iterators. So what is this external and versus internal iterators? We will see. So based on who controls iterations, based on who control iterations, we can divide into two categories. One is external iterator and one is internal iterator. So what is external iterator and what is internal iterator? We will see now. So Java iterator can be classified into external and internal iterators. Yeah, that is what I'm saying, right? So Java iterators can be classified into external and internal iterators. So external iterator also known as a active or expulsive iterators. So external iterators. So external iterators are also known as active or explicit iterators. Okay, fine. So what is that? We will see now. So when using an external iterator, the client code performing the iteration controls the iteration. When using an external iterator, the client code performing the iteration controls the iteration. So okay. So when we are using external iterator, so we can control the each and every iterator, which means we can provide some uh, we can provide some uh, we can provide some condition checks and all while traversing the data. That is what here I am saying. So external iterator, the client code performing the iteration controls the iteration. We can control the loop, the iteration. The client creates a iterator. The client creates the iterator and instructs it when to advance the next element. Yeah, that is what I am saying, right? Yes. So the client also checks whether not all the elements has been visited and so on. Yeah, the based on the conditions, the external iterator, we can check the elements when we are crossing through the next level or not. So enumeration iterators and enhanced for loop are the examples of external iterators. So basic, yeah, whatever we have a previous iterators called enumeration and iterators and enhanced for loop and while loop, for loop, all these before Java 8, all the iterations, all the loops, we can call it as a external iterations. So external iterations, using which we can easily manipulate data while traversing the collection. So that is what I am saying. So the enhanced for loop introduced Java 5 is another example of an external iterator. Of course, yeah, before Java 8, right? So enhanced for loop, enumeration, iterators, and for loop and while loop. So these all are why, because after for loop, right? For loop, yeah, this is the for loop. An example of a enhanced for loop. This is the enhanced for loop. So using this, we can get the names and we can print or we can trap. We can return some by preparing some list or something here. So based on that, we can provide the condition here. So right. So we can control the iteration. We can control the iteration of each and every element of a collection. So that is what we can. I am saying in terms of an external iteration. So what is internal iteration? We can see now. So internal iterators. So internal iterators are also known as a passive or implicit or callback iterator. So here we don't have any control on elements while iterating. So when you are using an internal iterator, it is the iterator itself controls the iteration, which means we cannot control the elements. So it will control itself. So we cannot control. So we cannot control, right? So that is what it is saying. The client code essentially says to the iterator, perform this operation on the elements in the collection. Simply the client code. So whenever we are providing we are executing or we are traversing the data by using internal iterator, the client code perform this operation on this element in the collection. Simply it is saying it is control itself. So we are not providing any controller, we are not taking any control of that collection while traversing by using internal iterators. So internal iterator has been introduced in Java 8, which is the introduction of lambda expression. Exactly. So when we are using for each, by providing internal iteration, by providing implementation for that, by using lambda expression, we can traverse the data by using Java 8 for each. So you can see. So list iteration using Java 8 for each. The code to iterate through the elements of a list using for each this. See, for example, this is the list. Fine. So we are passing a list of elements, list of strings. So list dot for each. This is the Java 8 for each. Name arrow mark. This is the lambda expressions. While we are coming with the coming into the lambda expression, I will tell you how we are using the lambda expression. But without this is the in Java 8 there is a combination of using for each, lambda expressions and method references and streams. There is a combination. So lambda expressions are simply we can use the lambda expression is nothing but the implementation of a functional interface. So what is functional interface? We will see in for each also. So this for each also is nothing but we can see the syntax of for each and how the functional interface implemented using for each. That is called a consumer. We will see now. So here simply you can see list dot for each name. So name, you can give any kind of a static word here, but a list of strings we are taking, right? So name arrow mark system dot out dot println name. So it will automatically internally traverse the entire list and it will print. So before for each, before Java 8, so you are using line 1 and line 2 and line 3. So here in a single line, we are executing the collection data. So this is what the lot of code will be reduced while using Java 8 for each. And also it is performed. So it is performed. The controller itself controls. The iterator controls itself. So we no need to check the extra conditions and all here. So this is what an internal iterator example using for each. So after Java 8 for each, we can call it as a internal iterators, and before Java 8 we can call it as a external iterators. So that is what internal and external iterators. Fine. So up to this, fine. Now see just a little bit, this code is declared such that it mean to be done with the elements of the list. Exactly. The internal iterators manages the iterations are in the background. Exactly. The background it will be manages the how to traverse the data and how to perform this entire collection data. So internally it will check in the background. To make the code clear, the same iterator list method can be written using method references like this. I already told you, right? So we have a lambda expressions as well as method references. The same code we can print using method references. So this is called method reference. System.out double colon println listed for each the same. So here we are using method references. Here we are using lambda expressions. We will see the example using lambda expressions and also using method references. Fine. So these are the two ways we can traverse the list and we can print the list using lambda expressions as well as also method references by using Java for each, Java 8 for each. Fine, right? Internal for each. We can say internal for each. So inside Java 8 for each, yeah. Previously I said, right, how we can what is the functional interface we are going to implementation while using for each. So that is what I am saying here. So inside Java 8 for each, what happened inside how it is taking, what is the syntax of this for each. So if you see In this example, we just used lambda expressions, the above example. So let us look inner side of the for each method and look what happening inside. What is happening inside? So the signature of for each method is this. Yeah, default void for each consumer. What is this consumer? This is also functional interface. What is functional interface? The functional interface is an interface which is having a one abstract method. So that is called a functional interface. So it will take dynamically, it will take the collection or object and action. So what is action? So action is nothing but it will perform the element by each and every element on some action. So what is that action? So void for each ordered. So we have a one more for each ordered also method by implementing a consumer interface. So by passing a consumer interface as an argument of this for each. So if you are passing a consumer interface as an argument, so what is the behavior of consumer interface we will see now. So based on this behavior, the for each will work. This simply it will traverse all the data element by element, which means that is what it is saying in terms of action simply. So what is for each and for each ordered? So just now we discussed it, right? So for each and for each ordered, how the for each will behave when we are using especially when we are using parallel stream. So when you are using stream, when you are executing stream, I will tell you how we are going to guarantee the order of elements by using for each and for each ordered. We will see. Coming to here, this is the syntax of for each and for each ordered. Fine. So the for each method performs the given action for each element of the iterable until all elements have been processed. Yes. So all elements have been processed. Simply see, given action in the sense what we are passing as a method argument of this for each. Simply it will give an action for the each element of the iterable until all the elements have been passed. So and of entire list, it will perform the action all the elements of the list simply. So action throws an exception or action throws an action. If we are facing any nullable something related exception related kinds, it will dynamically throws exception. If it is a perfect data, if it is a perfect means it is a perfect data in the sense it is having we are having a data without any exceptions. It will automatically process the all the elements. So that is what we are saying in action. So action on each and every element while traversing the list by using consumer interface. So the consumer parameter of a for each is a functional interface with the accept object method. So I already told you, right? So here this is a functional interface. So that is what I mentioned here. So we can therefore rewrite the previous list. Yeah, whatever we have a list here, iterate through the list. So here I'm rewriting using consumer interface. So this is the method of this iterate through the list. So consumer string, list of strings, right? So consumer string, consumer names of names equals new consumer of a string. So we are converting those list in terms of functional interface and public void accept string. So it is accepting the string and it is converting the consumer functional interface. Now we can list of for each of consumer names. So we can traverse the data. So simply the inside functional interface, simply it is accepting as a string type of parameter. So that is what type of data we are passing. So simply it is accept. So it is accept the type of data when we are passing a data to the consumer interface. So after this we can pass the list of for each consumer names, which means the data. So internally it will check like this. So that is what I want to tell you. So inside for each what happened. So what type of data we are passing, it will automatically convert like this. It will automatically convert like this. It will accept the type of data we are passing as a method argument of this for each. So like this it will convert. Like this it will consider. So see, that is what I conveyed here. So this code uses an anonymous class to instantiate a consumer implementation. So I already told you, right? Anonymous class to instantiate a consumer implementation. The consumer instance is then passed an argument to the for each. This code will be produce the same result a lambda expressions we can write like this. See, so whatever we are giving the line is same equal to this line. So inside for each, this is what happened. This is what happened. So inside for each, the consumer interface, the consumer functional interface is already implemented. So that is what I want to say here. So this is what a for each brief explanation, right? So now we are jumping to the examples. So let me write some examples using for each. But let me traverse the collection of data by using list of collections. How we are going to iterate? How we are going to iterate, or how we are going to print using for each using lambda expressions, using method references, and set of data how we are going to traverse, and map of data how we are going to traverse. These all are existing. And also we have a stream data. So using collection data, we can manipulate the data by using streams, right? So using stream data also, how we are going to perform the for each. So see, if it is a list or set or map of data or stream of data, we are traversing the data, we are iterating, we are looping the data using for each. Simply the simple example. So for each ordered. So how it is performing when we are traversing the data using for each and for each ordered, we will see now. So let me open IDE. So let me share my screen one more time. Yeah. So let me open IDE. Yeah. So here just I created a Java project. So here Java 8 for each. So this is the one package. So in the Java 8 for each, I created a Java 8 for each examples. So just I want to create a one example using using for each example using list. So let me create a class here. Using for each. So yeah, for each example one using list. So just I want to create a class now. So here list of elements. Just I want to create a list of elements using for each. How can we list of strings? Let me take list of strings. Or a list. Fine. So from the right? So from Java 8, from Java 7, we no need to mention explicitly here data type of data generic type, the right hand side. So one side is enough. So now I'm entering into the some examples. So list.add, right? List.add, we need to give the some string. So sorry, some string. So v kakarla. Just I'm giving v kakarla. So just I want to add some more data. Just Manoj, Suresh, Praveen, Naresh, Shankar. Some list of data. These are these are the names. Some V. Kakarla, Manoj, Suresh, Praveen, Naresh, Shankar. So here, just I want to traverse this list of data using for each. So take the list dot for each. If you see here, this is the implementation, right? Consumer implementation. So what are we are passing as a in terms of lambda expressions or in terms of method references? It is nothing but an implementation of a functional interface. What is the functional interface? Consumer is the functional interface. It will take the for each implementation. Inside the for each implementation, consumer interface it will take, and it will pass or it will provide an action. It will perform an action each and every element what we are giving in terms of for each. So action. So what is an action? Names. So names, lambda expression. So sys out dot names. So simply it will print. So using lambda expression. So using lambda expression. So we can say print before using. So simply iterating by passing what we are passing, just lambda expressions, right? Lambda expressions, right? Yeah. So I'm saving this and I'm running this apply. What we are getting, we will see. So if you see this output, yeah, iterating by passing lambda expressions. So here simply it is traversing the data. So previously what we have before Java 8, what we have before Java 8. So this is the Java 8 feature. I can say this is the Java 8. Java after Java 8. So before Java 8, how we are traversing the how we are iterating the loop, right? So this is called an external for each. What is this external for each? So I can use enhanced for each, or I can use for loop. So int. So I equals to 0. So I less than list dot length. So length list dot size, sorry, size. Yeah, size. List dot size and I plus plus. So here we are printing the elements. So sys out of I. So like this we are iterating. So let me print. So I of, yeah, this is the array, right? So yeah, list of I, sorry, list of I. So it will give the zero on index positions. So so list of size. So how we are taking? Let me check. Okay, it will print and it will take all the values. But how we are taking this value? So let me check. So if it is enhanced for loop, I know. So if we can give string str of list. So sys out. If you give str, it will automatically come all the values. But yeah, here we are getting, right. So if you see before Java 8, like this enhanced for loop, and after Java 8, the for each. So we can reduce these lines of code here. So and also let me check for loop. int I equals to 0. Just I want to print. Sorry. So I less than size I plus plus. That is okay. But how we are going to print a list element? Yeah, list dot get exactly. List dot get index. Fine. So we are adding right. So list dot adding right. Now we can get the list using list dot get. So let me run. Yes. So we are getting. So if you comment out this, you will get the elements. Yeah, just it's simply I confused. I'm getting yeah I'm thinking about the array. So while we are traversing array index of I, we can get right. So it is already we have a list dot add. So we by getting list dot get, we can get the list dot adding also, and get also we can give. So we are getting while printing I, we are getting the indexes right. So index dot position list dot get, we can get the elements. So this is a example of actional iterator. So this is the example of actional iterator. So and Java for each, yeah, remove block comments. Yeah, Java for each we can print by using internal iterator, right? So here we are just I'm removing these two. So using lambda Java iterating by passing lambda expressions. So just print. I want to print. Yeah, save right. Yeah, save. So iterating by passing lambda expression. So now I want to check I want to check a method references. I want to show you a method references. Yeah, method references. So by passing method references. So just I want to print. Sorry, I didn't change it right. So method references are nothing but system.out.println. So instead of dot, we can give the double colon. So remove this. So it will automatically take the data type, what kind of data type it is. So string kind of data type, right? So we can print. So we can print, yeah, by passing. So what we are getting here, the same way we are getting here also. So whether we are using lambda expressions or whether we are using method references, automatically it will take the consumer argument only, consumer interface argument only. Whether you are using method reference, the expression is different, but the implementation is the consumer interface will take care of this collection of data. So this is what for each as using on the list. So let me check the uh, uh, one more one more example on this. So map and set, right? So let me take the set interface. So let me take the set interface. Let me take the set interface. So just I want to write one more class. So for each example on this, right? Just I want to write for each example set. So new class set. So give me this. Yeah. So this is the set, right? See, whatever we are having a the same I can take here, the same example, but this is a set. So has set list of, see, set and list are same. Sorry. hash set. So set and just I'm changing set related data. So if you see here, so you can print using the same here. So whatever we are printing here, the same we can print here. So by passing here, so simply you can change the set. You can change this set. The same you can the same how the see here the data type is different, but the implementation is the same by using method references and by using lambda expressions. So this is called lambda expressions and this is called method references. So what is lambda expressions and what is method references? We can talk more about when we are coming example or class on lambda expressions and or functional interfaces. Implementing functional interface, we will see. So this is related to an example is related to set collection or set of data, set of strings, set data using we are traversing using for each. Now I am going to use the map. So map, right? So let me take the map data. So after map and after streams we can talk about the ordered for each ordered. So example on map, for each example on map. So let me take, so map, right? So let me write, yeah, main method. String here, not string. Fine. So let me write map. So you know, right? Map is a two-dimensional. It will take the two-dimensional data, not single one dimension. So how? Not like list and set. List and set are the single dimension data. It is a double dimension data. So double dimension in the sense key value. So string comma string. you you can give any. So let me give the integer instead of string. Integer. So map. So map is an interface. You need to provide the implementation class for that. So what is hash map? Shit. Yeah, spelling mistake. String. Fine. So now you can provide map data. So key comma value. That put method is the there. You can see index key and string value. So you can give the integer, right? One for the give some monkey animals put. So you can give some data. So dog 3, cat, some values you can give cat 4, you can give lion, and 5 you can give some tiger. You can change the value, and 6 you can give some value, some animal, bear. So bear. So now, so this is the map of data. So key value pairs. So I already told you, right? It will take the so key and values. So how we are traversing the data by using lambda expressions and key value pairs. So let me run for each this. So you know, right? Map dot for each. So see, it will not map. We cannot take the consumer. This is what it is. It is taking by consumer. By consumer in the sense, I will explain the when we are coming with the internal functional interfaces. So we are passing a two-dimensional data, right? So that is the reason it will take the two-dimensional uh, two arguments, two mapped arguments. So we need to pass two mapped arguments, k comma value. So key comma value, fine. So after key comma value, so what is after key comma value? So just I'm grouping key comma value. Sorry, I'm grouping key comma value. Sorry, key comma value, and you know, right? Lambda expression. So sys out. So in the sys out we can provide key comma value. So key comma value. Let me check. That we are giving correctly, right? So key comma value, and yeah, here I am giving dot. That is wrong. So println. So println. So what it is? So oh, this is the print statement, right? We need to provide some space. So it will take some, yeah, fine, fine. Syntax error. See, now we can print. So we can print this map. So see, one is monkey and two is dog and three is cat and lion, a tiger, something like that. We can traverse the map data. So before map, so how we are printing the map data entry is there. By using that we can printing the values. So now it is a using lambda expression, and also lambda expression, if you want to print, if you want to print some conditions, if you want to give the some conditions like a function, lambda expression is nothing but a function, right? A method. This is a method implementation. Lambda expression is nothing but a, a function which is not having any name. So we can print. See, some entry questions I want to print based on the based on the value I want to print the key. At that time, how can we know? So right. So map. So map dot. So in that case, map dot for each. Sorry. Oh, I'm giving wrong. Right? Yeah. For each. So here you can use this as a function. So here this is the function. We can open and close. This is method body. So functional interface body. So now you can provide some key. So key in the sense k, right? Key is nothing but a key. You can write instead of confusing value like that you can write. So here you can provide condition. So what tiger? So I want to print the tiger key. So if tiger equals to dot equals value, this value, right? The value is coming dynamically. Then print just key. So then print, sorry, yeah, fine. Now print the key here, key. So whenever they asking like that, you can use like this. So when just when the tiger key I want to print. So we are traversing the loop. We are checking when the tiger is equals to value. This is right value. Then I can print whenever it is coming here. If it is equal, so now the key and value are coming. We have the key and values. A particular iteration, the fifth iteration, we have a tiger and key. So simply we can print the key. So each and every iteration we will have a one key and one value. So when we are coming to tiger, we can print the key like this. So you can print, yeah, fine. So you can say here value print key based on value, that is tiger. So tiger key we are printing. So if you, yeah, if you see here, this is the tiger key, right? So yeah, fine, we printed tiger key. So here tiger key we printed. So now and also vice versa. So if you want to print some equals to key equals to value also, you can print. So just I want to give the just key integer, right? So simply, so my key equals to 3, then print value simply. So and print value, based on key, based on key. So here I'm printing a value also. So like that we can print. So here just we are traversing the data for each key value pairs. And also we can provide or we can implement the lambda expression body, right? So whenever we are, if you want to print directly, you can print like this. If you want to provide some body, lambda expression is nothing but an anonymous function, right? So anonymous function in the sense, it does not have a method name, it does not have a method name and class name. Simply it is having an implementation, so body. So that is what I am providing. Simply I am providing an implementation for this lambda expression by providing some conditions based on our requirement. Simple, right? So this is what map. So now we can see next example on using streams. So using streams, right? So let me take one more example. So for each, right? Hmm. For each example, 4, just I'm giving 4. So for each example 4, let me convert the data using streams. uh, Using streams in this example, also in this example only I will tell you uh, how we are going to convert a list of data into the stream, and how we are going to use for each, and how we are going to use the same stream data for each ordered by using parallel streams. I will finish in this class all the examples. So let me take this. Let me take this. So let me, sorry, this is right. Yeah. So here using, yeah, let me run using for each, simple for each. For each means Java 8 for each, using for each. So we can list dot for each name, right? Simple. So using for each, simple for each. So if you run this, so we are getting we are traversing the loop, and we are ensuring that we are getting instruction order. V Kakarla, Manoj, Suresh, Praveen, Naresh, Shankar, right? So here also we are getting the same order. So let me convert this into the stream. List dot stream of for each. Yeah, it's same. It will come like this. So you can provide the same. So for each on stream data. Now on stream data. So just see stream data, nothing will come. So using collection data only, we need to convert, or this is nothing but a creating or converting a stream data from the list of data. We are converting the stream data. Now we are having a collection. Stream is also one collection type of collection data, but in the form of stream. This is the form of list collection data. This is the form of a stream data. So now here I'm printing a data. So how it is coming? Let me check. So now we are coming, right? So you can write here using for each, right? And using stream, converting stream for each on stream data. For each on stream data. So now you can get more clear. So for each on stream data, the same here, how we are getting here, the same way we are getting here. The order is not here is the order is not mismatched. So now I want to let me give the some space. It will give the one line space. Okay, right? So let me print here also. Just simple. Let me print one more time, just for clarification. Yeah, fine. Yeah, using for each and using stream. Just now we are converting. Now let me the same for each using this is nothing but a stream. By default, it will take the sequential order. Let me print the parallel using parallel stream also. So what is parallel stream? So what is parallel? Sorry. Okay. What is parallel stream? Simple. But before that, we can use the parallel stream also. Parallel stream dot for each. So check for each on stream data using parallel. Using parallel stream. So let me run. Yeah, here see. By avoiding this confusion, you can comment out this only one. You can comment out this only one. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Here whatever you are getting it is guaranteed to give the sequential order for each stream data by using for each. So here check. Parallel stream is nothing but it will take parallelly at a time. It will take parallel. It will print the different elements at a time. So that is the reason it will not give the order of elements whatever we are having a previously order in the collection. So that is the reason we are getting this in order. So unordered data. So this is what we are getting. So the same it will, if you run again, it will be change again. So Praveen and Naresh firstly come, right? You can run again one more time. Now, yeah, Shankar and Suresh, it is coming like that. So print one more time. So see, Praveen, this time it will change. Instead of Naresh, this time it will change Vikakala. So we are not guaranteed to the order. So if you want to maintain order by using parallel stream also, it will give the better performance and order also. So based on your requirement. Now you can print. So you can copy this. You can comment on this. Now using for each order is a one method when we are using parallel stream. if you want to maintain order by using parallel stream, so you can use the for each order. So for each order, so this time it will it will maintain the same whatever we are getting a order here, the same order we will get. So yeah, so parallel stream the data, so whatever we are parallel stream for each, right? So yeah, for each, fine. So whatever we are getting a parallel stream, so we are getting a order here. So if you run here, see, V Kakarla, Manoj, Suresh, Naresh, right? The same order we are getting here. So whatever we are getting a for each dot stream dot for each method, and when we are using parallel method, so parallel method it will not give the guarantee of order, right? So you can get the order by using for each ordered method. So how we can say, we can use this also. Yeah, you can, yeah, you can see. So our requirement is using parallel and using for each order. So it will maintain the insertion order. Whatever we are taking the list, the same order it will maintain. It will not maintain. Why? Because the for each are parallel. So it will maintain the simple stream for each. It will maintain the order. So let me run. Let me run. See. First is the V Kakarla Manoj Suresh, right? And last one is the V Kakarla Manoj. Here is the for each ordered. Here it is the for each on parallel using stream data. It will not maintain the order. Here is the a normal for each on stream data. So it will maintain the order. So this is what for each examples. This is what for each examples on a list set map, and also we touched about, we also saw the parallel, using parallel for each and using parallel for each ordered. So we are also seeing the example on for each and for each ordered. So how it is maintaining order while we are using a parallel on stream data, and how we are how it is behaving a simple for each on parallel stream, parallel data, while taking the data in parallel. So the parallel will always give unordered. So we will not guarantee the order of data. So if you want to guarantee the order of data, you can use for each order. The simple difference is that one only. So for each and for each order, it will for each order will maintain the order. So when we are, it will especially considered when we are using a parallel stream. So parallel stream always give the elements by default. It will take elements. For example, we have a 1 to 10 elements. It will take 1, 5, 10, or it will take 1, 2, 5, or it will take 5, 10, 9, 1, like that. It will take. So it will not guarantee the order. So why? Because parallelly it will take print taking the element, and it will print the elements. So if it is a sequential, it will give the one by one. If it is a parallel, it will parallelly take the all the elements. At that time, if you want to maintain a order, so you can go for the for each order. So this is what the difference between for each and for each order. Then we are using especially parallel stream, right? So this is the list. So we can do all these operations by using list data only. The stream data source is the our collections only. So without collections, there is no stream data. So directly we can convert the stream data by using collection. So collection in the sense list of elements here. So collection dot stream is nothing but a converting stream data from the collection or creating a stream data from the collection. So thanks friends, and thanks for your seeing, and you can subscribe my channel for the next examples. I will give you the best and all the examples from the functional interfaces and the method references also. So this is what for each method. So how we are going to use, just now we saw the examples on this. So you can I will provide all these examples by giving my GitHub link on this description link. You can take and you can enjoy the examples. And I think you don't have any doubts using for each and for each order from the Java 8. And also you don't have any doubt on internal iterators and external iterators, right? So internal iterator before Java 8, we can call it as external iterators. So after Java 8, for each we can call it as internal iterator. So internal iterator and external iterator is nothing but a controlling on the iteration, controlling on the iteration, the loop elements simply, right? So by using external iterators, we can control the loop elements. We can change the loop elements. By using internal iterator, we cannot change, right? So that is what internal and external iterators. So thanks friends, thank you very much, and uh, we can meet next session by providing. So what is the next session? I will after Java 8, I think lambda expressions. So lambda expressions, I will give you the plenty of examples by using lambda expressions also. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks friends.